Okay, so in this video, I'm doing the 2019 Test 1 System Analysis and Design section, right? So in this section, it got all questions, but also remember it got models, right? A lot of models. So let's get started. So the first question, let's see. The role of a system analysis, right? Now, in any time you see a system analysis, you need to understand what a system analysis is, right? Now, a system analysis, what they'll do is this. I want you to really think about this. A system analysis is like an architect, right? So when you have to design a system for a business, so let's say when you have a good computer program or whatever, they're an architect. So they basically make how the program must be planned. Well, not planned, it's like how it's made. For example, an architect will do a drawing of a building. They won't make the building. Same with a system analysis. They will design what the system will look like. How do they do it? They'll go and interview all the managers, the customers. They'll get information about how businesses' inputs are coming in, processes, output, basically making notes of how the business is running. They'll take this and on a page, they'll do ERD diagrams, enterprise diagrams, all those data flows which you're learning now. They'll make this system analysis. And then they'll give this to the developer, which is the next stage. So looking at this over here, which one is the best? The best over here is D. Why? Coordinating all. No, wait, sorry, not D. I mean C. Yeah, it's C. C. Facilitating interviews with managers and stakeholders. They need to do that so they can know how the business is running, so they can make the design of the system, right? So that's the answer, C. So remember, they don't actually make the system. What are the typical reasons to initiate a system development project? So why do businesses want to initiate a project, change a system in the business? So if I look over here, system is example a year old. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? Yeah, it's a year old, but something can be 1 year old but can running smoothly. A system, it like degrades for like a long time. Like it's 1 year old, it's still fresh, it's still new. So what I'll say is let's see, reduction information or desire to exploit new opportunities. So whenever businesses want to desire to exploit new opportunities, when they find a new opportunity, they'll basically make another system. For example, they want to make another system for sales, a better system. That's an opportunity they're desiring. So the answer is D. 22. Which of the following is a factor that frequently contributes to project failure? So why do projects fail? Now, poor testing and implementation, that's definitely it. Managers do not know how to use CSA tools. And what is CSA tools? CSA tools, right? So in the whole development cycle, those 5 steps, you can have computers to help you in those 5 steps. So they'll help you like to do stuff in those 5 steps. That's CSA tools. But system analysis and design, those steps are for everyone. Some businesses can't afford to have these computers that can do these steps, right? So this is not an answer. Sufficient communication, that's good, that's a success. Solving a few organizational problems, that won't be a problem. So the only answer over here which is very very good is A. This poor testing and implementation is the best one, right? So they won't test if the system is doing good, or they won't implement the system properly. This will destroy the whole system analysis, like the whole system basically. So that's the best answer. So Lee and Sipo investing into a system development project. They have a budget of 250,000. So they have a budget of 250,000, right? But now you worked out the rands you'll need to actually make this project is 390,000. So because 390,000, which the actual is greater than the budget of 250,000, this is something has to do with money. So it'll be economical, huh? So just for reference over here, what does technical means? Technical means if you can get all the stuff or parts for the project. Legal, if it doesn't violate any laws or whatever. Operational, whether you can if it's basically could be operational, right? For example, don't get a system design or something that's not operational. You have to be realistic about it. And schedule, right? Also operational, for example, don't get a, for example, if system needs, let's say, a temperature of 20 degrees to work, Now, don't, if you in, let's say, in a hot country and you install the system, you're breaking this feasibility, operational, because you can't operate the system over there. Then E, schedule, that's timing, right? So if you're not going to complete the schedule on time as per contract, that's schedule, right? Now, the next part, system design is all about. So in the design stage, I told you the people who design the actual project, they will get all the stuff they need from the step above, which is the analysis stage done by the analysis. So looking over here, what is the system design? So just for clarification, you got to identify the problem, which is the first step. Second step is analyze the situation. So that is what. So you're looking at what is the problem. Design step after that is how is the problem, or how are you going to fix this problem. That's the question you should ask. How? Remember, not implement. Analyze is what is the problem. Design is how you will fix this problem. So if the design is the question, how are you going to fix this problem? Let's see what's the closest over here is. Outlining the business problem is in the previous step. Analyze the situation. The problem. Also, it could be identify the problem in the first step, right? Investigating what new systems should do. This is the analysis stage, so not this. Determining and documenting the solution to the problem. Definitely, yeah, this is the answer. Why? Because the how stage basically is saying how do you solve this problem. Then by doing this, you do a document, determining and documenting the solution to the problem. How to fix the problem? You need a solution. So you do a document for the solution. That's the question. Huh? Creating and installing is the implementation stage, determining the system still needs users needs. This is the last stage, maintenance and review stage. So you look at the how question and you match it perfectly. Huh? 25. An advantage of purchasing new equipment. Now, you can either purchase new equipment or hire equipment, lease equipment, but that's not yours, right? So, advantage of purchasing new equipment. This is where accounting students will excel, right? When you purchase a computer, right? Purchase it, right? Own it, right? It's an asset to you in the business. Oh, I forgot. Also, leasing is also an asset because it meets the definition and recognition of an asset. But basically, what I'm trying to say is purchasing equipment is the best for the business if the business wants to own that equipment or own that computer, have full control over it, but basically own it for life. That's the best part advantage. So if you're looking at this over here, there we go, B. So you see, so I told you the biggest advantage of owning is a computer when you're buying it is owning it. One has total control over the equipment. Now don't get too get into more it because accounting students here will be like, but leasing does mean you have total control over. See ya. We as Eastern students right now, we're not accounting students, right? We're in this course for a reason. So it says total control, that's an advantage. So don't overthink it because we're accounting students. Anyway, 26. Which of the following is a step in the system implementation phase? Now, the system implementation stage is the do stage. So I told you, what we have identified the problem, then analyze. Analysis is what is the problem. Then you have design is how to solve the problem. The third step here, fourth step here is implement is do. So in this do stage, right, you'll do everything. So in this stage, basically, you'll go and you'll acquisition. It's called acquisition when you buy all the system software. So you'll go and literally buy all the system software, that's implementation. When you train the staff on the system, that's implementation. When you physically put those products or computers in a workplace, that's implementation. So looking over here, what is the step in the implementation phase? There we go, B. There's a perfect answer. Training users. Because in this stage, right, you need to train stages, right? It's not stages, users, right? Okay. Now this one now when we come to models, right? So this type of model over here is called a data flow model because it looks and it gives you information how it travels through the business, right? Now I did do videos on it. Now I don't know when I'm gonna post this video because I need to do all this, but I think actually I'll post past paper videos No. Dara, yeah, I'll actually do this. So look at my video on this model. I did a full video on it, summary, everything. But basically, okay, so let's read. So when customers buy, okay, so now if you want to pause this video and read it, I suggest you do, but I'm gonna go straight into it, right? So basically, you're a business here, right? And this business sells to customers. So the customers over here buy stationery, right? Now this is the teller or the system that records the sale. Now obviously this system is a very good system, so it gets information from the supplier if it needs more goods. It'll also, send back information to this transactioning system. It'll also send messages if the stock is low to the manager, which is over here, and obviously the manager will send the order which he wants from the supplier to the system, and then the system tells the supplier. But basically, this is the whole system, right? Now, the best label to replace one is. Now, when you're looking at over here, one, right? One is the main system. How do you identify the main system? It's where all the arrows are going to. It's the center. It's the coronavirus. Why did I say that? But basically, what I'm saying, it's China. It's Wuhan. It's basically where everything starts, stops. The best main traction. That's the best thing. So this is the main system. Also, it's mostly in the middle, the main system. So if this is the main system, right, you need to call it a name. So when you're calling it a name, the system, the first thing you need to do is put 0. Now when I say 0, you might be thinking what I'm talking about. You see zeros, the main system, the way you recognize it from all the other systems is that it has 0 just below the name or wherever, but it has a 0. A 0 means that's the main system. So already now we can see that it's the first 3 answers. Now, I will tell you what is the answer over here. It's C. Because when you're naming the system, the main system, you have to be very, very, very specific. You just can't say it's the system of Balani. You can't just say it's a stationary system of Balani. You have to say exactly what it is. So because it's a sales system and an ordering system, which they tell you in the question, you have to be specific and say both, because that's the system. So this is the best answer for the system, right? Because it tells what the system actually is. Don't leave out stuff. Now 2, the best label to replace 2. Now we know 2 is customers. How? By reading this, we can see that the order details send it to the till, the payment, the system, the order. So we know that's a customer. Now you might be thinking, what to name 2? Customers, obviously customers. But now you'd be like, oh no, customer or customers? Must we have an S in the customers, plural or singular? Rule, very big rule. Everything over here is singular in this data flow diagram. So because everything over here is singular, you can't say customers, you have to say customer. Even over here, you have to say manager. This you say supplier. You can't say suppliers, man. No, everything is singular. Important, this is extremely important here. So we know that's going to be a customer. So it'll just be customer. That's it, just customer. Don't get too complicated over there. You see, they tricking you over here. They got customer or customers. Customer, singular. Now 29. The best label to replace circle 3 is circle 3. So think about this. The customer sends a payment, then it gives an order confirmation. But what's missing over here? When you think of real life situation, when you give an order, you have to have a receipt. So after the order is confirmed, we need the receipt. So let's see if they have that. Ordered items, delivery of ordered items, handover delivery notes. Let's see. Oh, delivery note. So delivery note is also like a receipt. The reason why this don't say receipt over here is because this whole, if you read the system, right, this is a let's see, once by the customers have paid for one order. Yeah, so this is also like an online system, right? So obviously a receipt is same as a delivery note, right? So 29 is, let's see, yeah, delivery note. So when you get a delivery note, it tells you when the order is coming and so on, right? So that's a receipt. Online, you'll get a delivery note, right, sent to you. Now 30, the best label to replace 4 is. So 4, we know it's a manager, because if you read the statement and it tells you the manager will get a message, so you know that's going to a manager. So again, they'll trick you here, put manager or managers. Let's see if I'm correct. I told you, there we go, manager or managers. Singular, always it's manager. Don't forget this. Every time you're looking at the data flow, it's singular. Don't get tricked. The best label to replace circle 5 is circle 5. So when the message stock is low, the manager gets this. So what the manager sends, so think about it literally, what the manager will send. The supplier order, I mean, that's just so obvious. Like what he needs, because if you're low on stock, you need to order from the supplier. So obviously it's going to be the supplier order. See all this over here. Enter supplier order, summon supplier order. It's too much details. You have to be concise. You have to be direct. Supplier order, done. That's this whole system of being direct. 32, in the diagram, how many outputs are there? Outputs are very, very easy. I want you to count the arrows going out from the main system, right? I'm sorry, no, not that. The main system, arrows going out. That's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5. So arrows going out. Let's see, 5, yeah, 5. Then the next one, in the diagram, how many sinks are there? Now sinks, think about water going in a sink. So sinks means basically all the systems, not all systems, all the basically the components of the system that is not the main system. So basically speaking about the blocks outside the main system. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3 blocks. So it's 3, right? Let's see 3. Okay, so now we're going on to the next one. Now this is a data into ERD. So according to the diagram, it is optional for. So now the way you read this is reverse, right? So the teacher, it can't. Now the way I picture this is a road, right? So the teacher, so the circle means optional. So the teacher doesn't have to teach a subject, right? And then the student doesn't have to have a group. So see how it moves? The student doesn't have to have a group, circle. So because of that, I will say a student, let's see, it is optional. Okay, so let's read a student forms a group is optional. A student forms a group is optional, right? So that's, let's see, that's the first answer that's correct. And then a teacher to teach a subject, right? That's also correct, because a teacher, it's optional for them to teach a subject. That's optional, right? So that is I and 3I. That will be I and 3I. Let's see, I and 3I. Oh yeah, A. So A is the correct answer. I and 3I. So always go in reverse. So according to this diagram, it is mandatory form. It is compulsory form. So now you have to look at this diagram and see how it's compulsory, right? So I said going from student is to group is optional because it has a circle. But if it doesn't have a circle, it means it's compulsory. So a group has to have students. A student has to have a subject, or a subject has to have a student. A subject has to have a teacher. You see, there's no circles. So let's see, right? So I know for a fact this answer will be this, because 2I. A group is formed by many students. It is mandatory. A group is formed by many students. A group is formed by many. How do I know many students? Because it has those 3 things there. And then 2. A group is formed, then I said 2, 3. A subject to be taught by a teacher. It is compulsory. A subject to be taught by a teacher. As I said, it's compulsory, so that's correct. And then third one, which is correct, is IV, a subject to be taken by a student. So a subject to be taken by a student is compulsory. The way I know it's compulsory also is because it has this, right? These also means compulsory. So that basically means one and many. This basically means one and many. This basically means 1 or 0. 1 or 0. So yeah, that's how you read it, right? Again, if you never watched my video, go watch it. Now, according to this diagram, right, let's see, 36. So whenever you read this, right, you need to test all options, because all options, it could be the answers, right? Now, 36, let's see, 36. If I look over here, right, ID, a group is formed by many more than one student. It's formed by more than one student. A group is formed by more than one student. Let's see if that makes sense, right? A group is formed by more than one. So it's many, right? So it has to do for more than one student. So they have to have more than one student, right? Because it's zero and it's many, right? So it has to have more than one student. So that's the answer, right? Then 37, students with the same. Now this is very, very easy. So when you look at students, right, which block are we looking at? Students, we're basically looking at this block. Now, what are instances of that block? Instances are basically categories of a student, or descriptions of a student. So let's say the names of the students. That's the instances of students. Subject, maths, accounting, that's instances of a subject. So if we go down over here, right, it won't be attributes because that's description. It'll be instances of a student, right? So instances are basically like basically, if you look at a student, their names, look at a subject, the modules, so that's instances, right? Now if you go to your in this diagram, so 38, so let's see. Now if you're going to read, now I want you to read this very, very carefully, so pause and read. A project manager works on many construction projects. So project manager works on many construction projects, right? It is compulsory for each project to be manager to work on. So I can clearly see it's one too many. So I know it'll be this one here, B. Because if you think about it, if B is over here, it means it can be a project manager can have one project or many projects. You see what I mean? But it's compulsory to have one, so that is why it has this. Now if we go down, so let's go down. Let's do B. Okay. So in the diagram, 2 should be replaced with. Now a project is typically worked by a single project manager, right? But small construction projects are worked without a project manager. So a project typically worked on by a single project manager. Okay, so this could be 0 or 1. So going down over here, 0 and 1, I can clearly see it's going to be D, because that means 0 and 1, right? Now the last one over here, ABC Construction decided to make compulsory for all projects to be managed by a project manager. The circle label 2 should be replaced with. So over here was 0 and 1. But now they're saying it needs to be compulsory to have a manager. So that means you have to erase the 0, right? So if you're going to be erasing the 0, the 0 is going to be 1. So basically now looking at reading of this basically means one and only one, compulsory one and only one. And therefore that's the answer. So this is the answers for this test.